Most people drift through life without really asking, why am I here? What am I building? Or what legacy am I going to leave behind? What is the actual impact of my life? Finding your purpose is not about luck or something reserved for a very privileged few in some sector of our humanity. It's truly about clarity, getting clear about what you truly want in your life. Hi, my name is Jason Ellinger. I'm the CEO of Taika Translations, and I'm going to share 3 steps that you can take to gain absolute clarity on your life so you can stop wandering around and start building something great that truly leaves an impact. Before we begin, please subscribe. And if this is valuable to you or somebody you might know in any way, shape, or form, please share it with them. And you subscribing to the channel will help me know that this is valuable and that I should probably continue creating more content like this because it's valuable. This is stuff that I live each and every day. And along the journey to becoming a wealthy person has caused me to get there. So I want to share insights like this with people who might otherwise not have access to this information, because you won't learn this in a classroom. You don't learn this from a business professor, and you don't learn this by pursuing some kind of course on creating your future vision. This is learned from a tried and true real entrepreneur who really does this stuff on a day-to-day basis and actually creates incredible impact, and through that found great meaning and purpose and created that clarity for my own life. And I just want to share that with you as well. So step number 1 is this. You have to define what truly matters to you. Believe it or not, this is the only and most valuable thing for you to do. Define what truly matters to you. Your purpose isn't something that you go out there and find. It's something that is based on the values that are intrinsic, which is just a fancy word for saying that are internal to who you are as a person and all the reasons that make you tick. At Taika Translations, we don't just exist to make money. That is not why we exist. Being wealthy is one of our values, but it has much less to do with money than you think. It is being wealthy spiritually, mentally, financially. And that value guides so many other decisions throughout our company. So you use the values that you have as a matrix to make decisions in every area of your life. They are the framework that you use when you say yes to some things and no or cut out some other things. And so in step 1, again, what principles do I refuse to compromise on? Make sure it's not just a preference. So in step 1, part 2 is, what problems do I feel called to solve? What problems in the world do I feel that I want to make an impact on? And I talk about feeling here because feeling is very much connected to working in your purpose and finding your strengths. If we focus too much on the mechanics and leave feeling out completely, we'll miss it. But if we focus exclusively on feelings, then feelings, they go up and they go down, and they can come and they can go based on any number of situations going on in our life at any given time. So if we focus too much on that, then it will also remove the teeth from our activity. But if we focus exclusively on feelings, of course, then we won't have the strength to continue going when the going gets tough, because feelings are fleeting. So the third thing I want you to ask yourself is, if money was not an issue, how would I spend my time? What would I invest in? What would I do if money really was an issue? And this is something, and there's something I want to caution you as well, because there is a mindset out there that says, well, if I would have $1 million, I would just spend the rest of my life living on a beach somewhere in Maui or whatever amazing beach throughout the world. I would just go there and I'd spend the rest of my life there. And you know what? That's probably not true. That's probably not true, because I've known people who made millions and have made millions myself. And if you go and you spend 1 month on a beach somewhere, you will find very quickly that you lose a lot of the zest for what truly matters in life. And that is not living. That's not the good life. The good life has to do with sacrifice. It has to do with investing your life in something meaningful and something that's very centered around your purpose and the impact that you want to make in this world. And so that's what we're after. We're not after a vain, I want to spend the rest of my life on a beach somewhere. Maybe you do want to spend the rest of your life on a beach somewhere helping sea turtles. That's awesome. Great. But not just sitting there doing absolutely nothing for no one and for nothing. That would create depression and a lack of a greater sense of purpose over time if you let that be your goal. So I just want to really quickly give a disclaimer is that is out of the picture. Going and hanging out at a beach for a month intentionally and then getting back to what drives meaning in your life, that's great. I'm all for it. Do it. But getting to a place in your life where you just simply do nothing else because you don't want to do anything else will eventually become your demise, and that will break down any sense you have of value or meaning. And so I want to be very careful to make this differentiator. So the answers to these three questions will help you. This is the first step, and they will help you point you in a direction. So step 2 is this, and that is take action and pay very close attention. So clarity comes first from this introspective part of thinking, but then it moves very, very quickly to action because you can't stay in this situation of just thinking. You have to get it out of your head and onto the pavement so you can actually roll forward. So to sum it up, clarity starts from thinking, but moves very quickly to doing. And this is why when you're younger or when you're starting out or when you're just starting the process, no matter what age you are, having a few different jobs in the beginning is so crucial. If you've never worked a day in your life, how can you even know what you might like to do? Go start getting some experience by taking whatever jobs are available to you. And clarity comes through doing. First, you think a little bit, put those values down on paper, write them down on a vision board somewhere, post them on a wall, on your refrigerator, or in your bedroom, and then go do something. You have to get out and start doing. Through doing will it really become clear. Action is absolutely paramount to your ability to make progress in the area of doing something meaningful that leaves an impact that creates a legacy in your life. You don't need a perfect plan to start. General Patton said, a good plan violently executed today is better than a perfect plan scheduled for sometime next week. So violently execute a good plan, but do it today. As you take action, you have to take very specific note of things that challenge you, things where you naturally add value, or those areas where you actually do have some inclination or desire to grow. And know this, just because it's hard, it doesn't mean it's the wrong direction. Some of the greatest outcomes and some of the greatest blessings of my life have come through the deepest struggles and the biggest sacrifices. In your process of clarifying your purpose, don't avoid struggle and don't avoid sacrifice. It's very important on your journey to something meaningful. So in this step, and that's step number 2, you have to experiment. You have to try new skills, new industries, and find more ways to serve others. In this, it's all about an outward expression of who you are and an absorption of everything in the marketplace that you could possibly have access to. You say, well, I don't have much access to much. Well, you've got to start. If you do nothing, then you will not get anywhere. But if you at least start and then you try multiple things, you will start to see some patterns develop in your life that will help you move in the direction of your purpose. In addition to taking note of the things that you're good at that you want to learn more about, and those areas that you're naturally kind of talented in, you really, and I think even just as much, need to take notice of those things that drain you. Take note of the things that drain you. Take note of the things that demoralize you or cause you to not perform well, and note them. You have to identify those just as well as the things that you're really good at. And most importantly, as you're getting the experience and you're noting the things that you're good at, the things that drain you, find the things that energize you, that actually start a fire, ignite a fire in your gut, and give you a sense of purpose and meaning. So as you're doing this, you double down on the things that cause you to have energy. You double down on the things that you're naturally talented in and that you have a deep desire to learn more about. And anything where you find meaning, you put a special note there, even if it requires sacrifice for it to be a reality in your life or for you to do that. You definitely want to pay special attention to that and note that so that you can understand, okay, this part of my life is challenging, but it actually produces a lot of meaning, and that matters to me. And I'm even willing to do stuff that I'm not comfortable with to make sure that this reality is created. Remember this as you're going through the process. You will have to refine yourself. You're not automatically going to be great at everything that you're doing. You're going to have to take it step by step, and you're going to have to get better and better and better. You don't automatically become a great multi-million-dollar business person. I didn't start this way. When I started, I wasn't great at many of the things that were required to be to do what I do today. But over time, through my personal development, sacrifice, and that great sense of driving purpose that has brought us forwards, it's brought me to the place today where I can invest and encourage and help others in a way that is far more advantageous than I ever thought possible. And you will be in that place too as you apply these things over time. And here's a bonus tip for you. So many people say that the dream job means that you come to work and you're just floating on a cloud every single day as you come to the office. And that's simply not true. Some days you will really do things that you freaking hate. And that's okay. That's part of the journey. If the ideal job, one that truly makes you happy, fulfilled, and that is you living out your purpose, is typically 70 to 75% you love your job, and the rest of it, it kind of would be great if you could do without it. But a great expectation when you're working in a job that is correct and that meets and that helps you fulfill your purpose, create the impact, and is meaningful to you, is that it's 70 to 75% of the time you actually really like going to work there. The rest of the time, again, it's probably not the place you want to be all the time. There are some elements of our life we just got to get through. But because we're willing to do that and do that effectively over time while paying attention to these areas, we're able to work within our purpose, create the impact, and build the legacy that we ultimately want. So in this step, your purpose will reveal itself through invested effort. And you can't just mail it in. I mean, when you go to that new job or when you're trying the next job because the last job was just completely a fail, you have to bring it each day. Bring all the talents and skills that you have to the work of the day. If you just show up and mail it in, you're not going to be able to find your purpose, and you're not going to be able to even clarify as to whether or not this job actually makes it happen for you and is meaningful to you. You have to come and you have to bring it with everything that you've got, with all your talents, skills, and efforts, and really look at the work that you're doing today and how it matters and the impact that you're creating. And if it's just not there and just doesn't hit, go and get a different job. Get a different opportunity where you can invest your time and skills into an outcome that does really matter. And it doesn't take days. Too many of us want that instant gratification. We want to know that, okay, we've got all the information that we need in this very short period of time, and now I'm on to my purpose and creating something incredible and great. Anything great and anything incredible takes time. And this is going to take you showing up daily, bringing it, not mailing it in, for a long period of time, for months and maybe even years, if you're switching between different opportunities as you work towards finding the opportunity that creates the impact that you really matter. And I say switching through opportunities very intentionally, because some people hear switching through jobs and it's just a job where you show up, do the minimum that you have to, and go home. If you're going to be working in your purpose and creating a great impact, then you're definitely going to be looking at the current situation that you're in as an opportunity where you can further refine what it is that you're put here on this earth to do. So this is step 3, but I kind of labeled it 2B because it's very closely related to step 2. And this is a very important acknowledgement, because purpose isn't just about fulfillment. What can I absorb and what can I gain? It's ultimately about impact. What does my life represent, and what do I provide to the marketplace? At the same time, I want to make sure you're not hearing a different message, which is like just give, and never enjoy anything. No, enjoy life. I mean, I enjoy some really cool things in life because we've worked really hard for a long time within our purpose and our strengths. But don't get confused that purpose is just about you consuming all that the world has to offer. It's about you giving to the world, and the world, as you give and create impact, gives back to you a lot, and many times over what you've invested. So money is a tool, not a destination. I know one guy whose company makes over $100 million a year, and he says, if the problem can be solved with money, then it's not really a problem, because you can get more money to solve the problem. The real measure of success isn't how much you have. It's about how much you can give and the impact that you can make with what you have. And I'm not just talking about money, I'm not just talking about giving money away. And that's you being able to spend more time on the things that truly matter in your life and the things that create the impact that matter to you. So that could be as much as being a great dad, being a great mom or spouse, or being a great son or a good friend, and for that matter, being a great leader to your team, or creating opportunities in your business for other people to work there because you have an awesome working environment. That's an outcome of the impact that you're making. In this step, remember, it's 2B. We think about the skills that we have and all the resources that we have available to us that we can use best to help others. It's about service and an outward mentality. Answering the question, who benefits most when you do your best work? And then it's about asking the final question, what can you create that will outlast you? Legacy is built through a lifetime of service. It's not working really hard to achieve this big pile of thing so that I can go do and consume this thing for the rest of my life. Now that doesn't do it, and that ultimately defeats all the purpose and meaning that you have in your life. It's investing your life, a lifetime of service, in something that truly matters to you, sacrificing, working hard, learning, growing, and honing that skill, and then investing that over time for the betterment of all of humanity. When you invest what you love with how you help and you marry those two, purpose becomes very clear. Living out that purpose is not some kind of end result. It's a journey that you walk throughout your entire life. And the biggest mistake you can make right now today is not starting right now. Not starting today. If you want more content like this, please like and subscribe to this video. That lets me know that you like this and that it's actually helpful to someone. And please share it with a friend. And answer this question if you would. Leave it in the comments below. What is one thing that you can do right now today to help you move one step closer to your purpose?